Hey there, guys. So, we're going to be talking about progressive overload being the secret to gains. Now, many times I get people come to me and they're talking about how they're not actually making any kind of progress. And when I ask them, look, could you explain to me what you've been doing for the past couple of weeks, couple of months, even the year? Um, I sense a pattern with the answers that I get back. And the pattern is they lack structure to their workouts. Okay? That'll be the first thing. And furthermore, they don't focus on the one thing that guarantees results, and that is progressive overload. Now, it doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight or bulk up or gain weight or whatever, building muscle is going to be a main goal. And progressive overload is vital for growth. So, what is progressive overload? Now, this principle involves continuously increasing the demands on the musculoskeletal system to continuously make gains in muscle size, strength, and endurance. Now, simply put, in order to get bigger and stronger, you must continuously make your muscles work harder than they're used to. Most often, that means increasing the resistance. But as you find out in this video, there are various methods to increasing the overload. On the other hand, if the demand on the target muscle groups are not at least maintained, or actually if they decrease, your muscles will atrophy, which means you'll lose size and strength. Progressive overload is a very simple but crucial concept, laying the foundation upon which successful resistance training is built. The progressive overload principle doesn't apply just to lifting weights to increase the muscle growth and strength. It can also be applied to cardiovascular fitness programs, creating psychological changes that affect aerobic metabolism and the cardiorespiratory system. So here's an example of progressive overload. Let's say you perform a set of barbell bicep curls with your 8 rep max, and the weight that you can do that with is 20 kgs. Now, over time, you're going to get stronger, your biceps will get a little bit bigger as a result, and completing 8 reps is no longer very challenging. As a result, your biceps have adapted to the initial overload you introduced. So where do you go now? Do you use the same load for the same number of repetitions, or are there changes you should consider making? If you continue performing that single set of 20 kg barbell bicep curls for 8 reps, you're not going to get any further gains. There's no reason for your biceps to grow any larger or any stronger for that matter. They're capable of handling the overload already. However, your biceps will become bigger and stronger if you place even greater demands on them. Here are 5 ways that you can increase the overload. Okay? The first and probably the most obvious way would be increasing the resistance. By increasing the resistance, you're increasing the demands you place on your muscles, right? So you're increasing the load or the weight. So coming back to the example we gave, if the 20 kg is too easy when you're curling, put 2.5s on either side, so that's an additional 5 kg, and that'll be more challenging. Now remember, there's an inverse relationship between load and reps. So when you increase the weight, your reps are going to fall to a certain degree. And that's okay, because soon enough you'll get stronger with that resistance and you'll be able to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. Second way would be increasing the reps. You don't necessarily have to add weight. Alternatively, as you get stronger, you simply do more repetitions. This is considered another way of increasing the overload. Now, never stop a movement when you reach an arbitrary rep count. Keep going until you can't complete any more on your own with good form. Remember, doing additional reps by the means of advanced training techniques such as your partner helping you to complete forced reps This also counts. Third way would be increasing the volume. Now, volume is simply sets multiplied by reps multiplied by resistance. By adding more sets, either by doing more exercises or adding another set for the existing exercise, you're making progressively greater demands on your muscle tissue. Now, that may mean doing 3 sets instead of 2 for all your exercises in your routine, or adding a total different movement completely, hopefully in a slightly different angle to emphasize a different area of the muscle. Fourth way would be increase the training frequency. Now, this technique works particularly well for targeting lagging or weak body parts. The traditional approach to training a muscle group once over the course of the training split, so normally once over a week, but training it more frequently may help bring it up, especially when used as a short-term strategy. So in this example, I don't know, if your calves are kind of lagging, then instead of training it once over the training split or once a week, then, train it twice or 3 times even. That's another way of increasing the overload. Okay. The fifth way would be decreasing the rest time between sets. Now, by doing that, it ultimately allows you to do the same amount of work in less time, and this requires your body to become more metabolically efficient in regards to anaerobic exercise or weightlifting. Now, those are 5 ways of increasing the overload. You need to pick the one that's going to work for you. Okay, you need to make this work for you. So, I mean, you can include any of these methods in your own training program, but it's best to focus on one at a time, as adaptation eventually occurs, and it will. It's good to know that you have some options available, especially if simply putting more weight on the bar just doesn't seem to work any longer. Now, of course, this is all assuming that you're interested in building muscle. If you're looking to focus on strength, then increasing load might be a more favorable option than simply doing more reps. Likewise, individuals interested in increasing muscle endurance may find that higher repetitions combined with increased reps, not load, so increasing the reps, not the load, is better suited for their activities. While factors such as increasing total volume would be important to, let's say, a bodybuilder, decreasing the rest times between sets and increasing the repetitions might be more beneficial for endurance athletes or individuals concerned with muscular endurance and cardiovascular fitness rather than gains in strength and power. So basically, the techniques that you use should be in line with your fitness goals. So basically, prioritize what's important to you. Now I'll give you a good example of this with this whole what I've just said there. I have a client who, when he came to me, he was doing a 100 kg deadlift, right? And within a month, I boosted him up to about 225 kg for one rep maxes, right? And we got to the point where the gym that I'm training him at only has 25 kg plates. So there's like no more space in the bar. There's literally no more space to put any weight on this bar. So what we've started doing is increasing the reps. So instead of doing a 1 rep max, we're going, okay, cool. Well, for a week, we're going to go for 2 reps. And then once you can complete that with the designated sets, then we'll go for, okay, 3 reps and continue progressing in that way. So there's different ways to implement progressive overload in your workouts, but progressive overload is the key to gains. So there we go, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. And as always, train hard, keep alive, and get that dirty pump.